Stay tuned. The show is about to begin.
Hello, 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 and welcome to another edition of the Brian Colletto Show on Fireside, also streaming to my YouTube channel. It's my first one of July 2023. I didn't imagine going 3 weeks in between shows once again, but it happened. I had sort of planned to uh, not do it the night before the 4th of July because of the craziness surrounding the holiday and the fact that people probably wouldn't be paying attention to this. Um, I, but then um, I was gonna do it last week, but I had some stuff show up, um, some unexpected um, real life stuff that I won't get into on here for privacy reasons. But um, it, it's taken care of, and I've just been having a lot going on. So um, it may not be totally about the subject of autism. Um, so my apologies to people who show up just for that. But um, I I've been dealing with a lot, and I will say that um, you know, as I've said many times about autism, sensory overload is a thing, and there's also um, autism burnout as well, and so those two things can explain why I have not gotten on Threads yet. I have not let anybody pressure me into getting on there. Um, I'm not saying it's a bad platform. I think it's good, but I've got audiences on 7 different platforms that see my videos, and there's only so much I could do. And that's not even considering the little bit of social media that I do for uh, my regular job, the agency I work for. Um, but, um, but otherwise, things are going well. Um, had a lot of different activities between the last show and tonight. Um, that last week of June, there was a multicultural business expo the night after my last show and in my town. Then the next night, I visited my Rotary Club and a local networking group for their monthly dinner. And I had a pretty good 4th of July as well, um, where I saw one of my favorite local bands play in my town. Um, and I didn't really do too much that week of the 4th of July. Um, but I did have stuff to post on a consistent basis. And then last week was a little bit challenging um, with some of the real life stuff going on. But, and before I go any further, I want to say hi to Frankie J. He's popped into my show. Um, I hopefully I get onto your show at some point, Frankie J. Just please forgive me. I use so many different platforms, so it's hard for me to keep track all the time, and I have my other activities that I do as well, um, and I'll get into more of that in a few minutes. Um, but yeah, I had a couple of networking events last week. A group that I met for the first time, most of them anyway, last Tuesday, and one group that I've known for a few years that I got to see at a local uh, Holiday Inn, and oh, and I had some activities over the weekend as well, um, where I went to a fundraiser for a former classmate and friend who is battling cancer, as well as a family gathering on Sunday yesterday. So I've had my share of activities. There was um, an event though that was canceled um, on July 9th, um, an annual event, uh, a music festival that unfortunately got canceled because of the threat of lightning throughout the day. But it is what it is. I did have an activity the day before, a different family gathering. So um, again, uh, just a lot going on. Um, but yeah, um, I I just wanted to pop on and tell you guys what's been going on. And oh, and also I had gotten promoted at my regular job to a marketing administrator as of 2 weeks ago. So that was pretty fun. Um, and yeah, oh, and last week I reached the 10,000 likes on TikTok. Um, so I reached that milestone for how many times I've been liked across all my videos in just 18 months. And that's without being the most consistent person on there. So um, yeah, that's what I've got going on, um, and I'm uh, I'm doing my best to look at my camera as I talk because I have my phone sideways as I'm doing this. Um, so I apologize if it doesn't look like I'm making eye contact, but yeah, um, yeah. Let me see if uh, you're crushing me. You're you're crushing me. You're doing amazing, brother. I appreciate that, Frankie. Um, yeah, I do have a few minutes. Um, if you would like to come up and say anything, um, if you're just listening, that's okay too. Um, I appreciate that anybody came to listen to my video on Fireside because that usually doesn't happen, even with close to 20,000 followers on here, most of which probably have no clue who I am or even take the time to uh, listen to this platform. Um, but, you know, I'm not striving to be the top creator on Fireside. I'm just being authentically me. And if I get there, that's great. I'm just staying in my own lane. So, um, yeah, let me see. Um, yes, I like listening. I like hearing your stuff. Most creators are off until after Labor Day. This is downtime in the show business. Yeah, um, I agree, Frankie. And that brings up another point too. Is that a lot of times creators give you the impression that they're not traditionalists, but there are people that take the time to enjoy their immediate families and go on vacation and things like that. Um, I mean, it's a downtime for a lot of platforms, and the only reason that Clubhouse got a recent boost is because of the threads, because all of a sudden people had something to talk about again, so they're like, "Let me shoot back over to Clubhouse." Of course, I never got off of there. I did um, take time away from there as I do my in-person events and some of the other um, um, one. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Uh, the other social audio platforms like Fireside that uh, that I like to speak on. So, um, but also I think too that it's not always just about the business side of things. There's also um, people who are looking to grow their faith, looking for someone to just speak to about things going on with mental health. So um, that's what I love about these platforms, that they can really inspire deep conversation. And yeah, I I'll close with this. Um, in my close to 2 years of beginning to really share more of my autism journey, I feel blessed that the majority of my regular family I was born into, um, they really enjoy what I'm doing and encourage me on it. And I feel blessed by that, especially considering that I was very scared what they might think. I was also scared what local community that knew me before Clubhouse and Reels uh, were going to think too. But it happened, and I now feel like when I'm in person at places that I'm creating my own sort of social audio in real life situations, and and it's going well. We're rocking it. So, um, but let me just check one more time to see any messages from Frank. Know what I do? Just show up, do my shows, and keep consistent. It will pay off. So never ever worry if people are or aren't watching. I got news for you. They are. I encourage you to write a book. I just finished my first. Will be out in a few months. That's awesome, Frankie. There's been a few people that have encouraged me to write a book. Um, I I haven't gotten there, and that's an even bigger step than just doing the videos and the podcasting. But when I think about my life and I can really dig into my brain about everything that has occurred, um, there could be a possibility of that. The one thing that I would want to do is make sure that I'm not throwing anybody under the bus so much that they're severely hurt. That would be my biggest thing. Otherwise, I would be down to have a book out there someday about me and the difference that I'm making. So, um, Frankie, thank you for coming in tonight to listen. I really appreciate it. You helped me keep the show going. Um, and to anybody who listens to this on replay, either on Fireside or on YouTube, um, know that I appreciate you for taking the time to see however much of my show you have. And I hope to be back next week. And until then, I send you all love, light, blessings, and peace.